Our next question asks that we find the axis of symmetry of each of the following parabolas. Well, the way that we're going to do this is by finding the zeros of each parabola. And when you think about it, because a parabola is perfectly symmetrical, the vertex is going to be just as far away horizontally from one zero as it is horizontally from the other zero. So all we have to do is find the two zeros and then in a sense find the average of those two zeros, to use some casual language. So let's try the first one here. Y equals x squared minus 6x plus 8. We're looking for the axis of symmetry, so our first job is to find the zeros by letting y equal 0. We already know how to do this from our earlier work. So 0 equals x squared minus 6x plus 8. Factoring x squared minus 6x plus 8 gives us x minus 4 times x minus 2. Now, if 0 equals the product of these two factors, then one of the factors has to equal 0. So that means x is 4 or x is 2. So we found our zeros, but now we have to find our axis of symmetry. And we know that parabolas are symmetric. So the x value of the vertex is halfway between the zeros. So we're going to go, since our zeros were at 4 and at 2, we're going to find the number halfway between 4 and 2 by adding those two numbers and dividing by 2. So x is equal to 6 over 2 and x equals 3. Now, one thing that sometimes people will say is the axis of symmetry is 3. That's incorrect. The axis of symmetry is a line. It's a vertical line. The equation of that vertical line is x equals 3. So it's incorrect to say the axis of symmetry is 3. It's correct to say the axis of symmetry is x equals 3, which is a vertical line. Okay, next question here. Y equals 3x squared plus 12x minus 63. Well, we want to first find the zeros, so we let y equal 0, and then we factor. The two numbers with a sum of 4 and a product of negative 21 are positive 7 and negative 3. Now to find our zeros, we know that one of these three factors equals 0. Since 3 cannot equal 0, that means either x plus 7 is 0 or x minus 3 is 0, which means x is negative 7 or x is 3. Those are our zeros. Our axis of symmetry, since parabolas are symmetric, the x value of the vertex is halfway between the zeros. So our axis of symmetry will be at x equals negative 7 plus 3 over 2, which is negative 4 over 2, or in other words, the vertical line x equals negative 2. For our final question, we have the parabola y equals negative x squared plus 2x plus 35. Well, we find our zeros by letting y equal 0. So 0 is negative x squared plus 2x plus 35. We factor negative 1 out from each term. And then we look for two numbers with a sum of negative 2 and a product of negative 35. Those numbers are negative 7 and positive 5. So that becomes our new equation. Now, we know that negative 1 cannot equal 0. So either x minus 7 is 0 or x plus 5 equals 0. So either x equals 7 or x equals negative 5. Well, since parabolas are symmetric, the x value of the vertex is halfway between the zeros. So the axis of symmetry will be at x equals 7 minus 5 over 2, which is x equals 2 over 2, which is the vertical line x equals 1.